everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. Here. The lion. New music. So fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday, but Washington Football Weekly is with you, baby. Let's go. And you might ask, why am I so excited? Why am I so excited? Well, this week they called animal control, and we had to take out a goat. We had to take out a goat. Let's get it in. Let's go.
You were saving that one.
That's so good.
Yo. Hey, but you already know I am not here alone. I never am. I'm here with the Black Superman, Mr. No Shirt Necessary, the shirtless wonder, Ablo. Yeah, buddy. And my guy from South Carolina, DBU,
right.
Will Kramer.
That's right. About to be wide receiver you when we talk fantasy this recap this past week.
Uh-oh.
Deebo Samuel leading me to victory. We'll go over it.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't I play you this week?
Yep, that's right.
Oh, God. I was hoping to bypass that one this week.
I got a story when we get to the fantasy recap to share with you guys about how I eked this one out against Sean. He's not gonna feel good.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in here. Thank you so much for being with us. What's up, Nate? Saying what's good, fellas.
Hey, Nate.
Yo, we got to, we
Thanks
already
for joining
know
us, Nate.
Yeah,
Nate.
Appreciate you joining us.
We love you, man.
I know.
He's
loyal.
steady on us, man.
Right. Sometimes he gets me fired up with his comments. It's great. Like when he
go.
tried to talk about Jeff George and the Redskins.
Right. Look. He said the show hasn't started and we bringing up fantasy. Yeah, I know, Nate. They already trashing me, man. Let's go.
He makes it so easy for us, Nate.
It's not been good. Look, ladies and gentlemen, you already know why we're here. And before we get into the game, we wanted to provide you with a little bit of update. Ladies and gentlemen, in the beginning of the off season, or actually more towards training camp, we talked about an organization called the Hog Farmers Organization, which is an organization associated with Washington that comes together to I believe, what was it, Will? Give money to underprivileged kids and help
pediatric cancer.
Yeah.
They support the kids that are going through pediatric cancer, fundraisers, toy drives, holidays are coming up, that type of stuff. And then as in this particular, they helped one young boy that was given a really bad diagnosis.
Yeah.
Fundraisers were made to give him like 10 great days, 10 great outings, because he was given a diagnosis of he's got months left.
Yeah. Yeah, we honestly, on behalf of Let's Talk Football, we mentioned it earlier. I mean, we always send the prayers and well wishes to you. Keep fighting. You know what I mean? It's going to be a tough road, but definitely keep fighting, man. We'll definitely pray for you, man. The Lord is on your side. Ab, you want to say anything?
No, man. Like you said it perfectly, Sean. Just prayers and thoughts with you and your family. Just like keep fighting, bro. We're all thinking about you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it seems like the kids, he was diagnosed about 2-3 months ago, saying you've got a couple months left, and he's having some troubles right now. So yeah, like you said, the thoughts with not only him and also his family that's supporting and being around him. They're a great organization, but their updates will actually absolutely crush you, or their fundraisers will crush you with with the stories that the kids are going through, and it's wonderful what they do for them. But just like the thought of, kids from age, the itty bitty like infants all the way up to, teenagers just dealing with this, battling cancer. It's awful.
That's terrible.
I'm sorry, man. They're like, it's nothing worse than having a sick baby, man. Like just to seeing the kid hurt, like seeing sick kids and everything like that. It takes your heart, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And it's so draining. And even on the parents, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the sacrifices parents have to make in order to be there for the kids. And just like, you know what I'm saying? Like having to go to work knowing you got a sick kid, man, that is the hardest thing. Because you got to work, keep that insurance, keep that money coming in when all you want to do is be by your baby. And honestly, man, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, man. So like, just keep fighting. We thinking about you. All right.
Definitely. And thoughts and prayers are definitely with you and your family. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead and move on. And as I started the show with, ladies and gentlemen, the job was done. We walked through the dark place and came out on the other side in the light. Washington did what Dallas could not do. And beat the GOAT 29-19. Will, talk to me. Come on now.
Hey man, we started off the show a little bit, with some sad news, but we are upbeat tonight on Thursday.
Let's go.
We have a little bit more pep in our step because of what happened, because we had a victory Monday to celebrate.
Did
you all see? I was at a hotel and they had Redskin potatoes. I mean, that not a sign? I threw all of them on my plate. It's been a long time since we've been able to feel good going into this show. We're not sitting here depressed talking about how bad we played.
Let's go. What do you think, man?
Man, I like I'm saying, like I love this game, man. I'll be the first one to tell you I didn't think we had a chance at all. And if you guys listened to our show last week, we all sat there and said the keys in order to win this game. And you know what? It was like they were listening to us. And like literally they did exactly what we were basically saying what needs to happen in order for us to win this game. Yeah. And it just makes you ask the question, why can't they do that every week?
There you go.
Why?
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Look. Nathan, I see you here. You're in the comments. You've been watching us. Well, I got to give Nathan his due. He sent me this video. A lot of us were on his show. And my man Nathan, he did call it. He absolutely did. Ladies and gentlemen.
He did call it. He did. and he put his chest behind it, too.
And he put his chest behind it.
He did it with his chest.
Let's go.
You'll be surprised, Abs. Washington football team is going to upset Tampa Bay 27-24.
Guaranteed. Stop it, Skip Bayless. You are not going to sit there in that
chair. I think the Washington football team can surprise Tom Brady. I'm saying that with my chest.
You sat right there and said that with your chest, didn't you? You sat there and said that whole thing. No, he not. Now, how you going to beat the GOAT?
This man called it out. Come on now. Hey, you got your due. There you go.
Hey, we applaud you. Right. We applaud you.
We appreciate you watching us. We appreciate you getting there.
I do gotta say,
I bet you can't do it again.
Come on. Do it again. Look, go ahead, Will, because I think I know what you're gonna say.
I said 23-19. I said we were going to win. And at one point, had we not scored that touchdown, I was like, oh, my God, I'm going to have the exact score correct. Because this is the junk that we've done for years. The game we're not supposed to win, we win. That's right. That is Washington football to a T. Yep. To a T. But you know what, Sean? I think we know why. I don't know about you, but when we were able to, and we definitely want Ab to explain himself, but we we were able to, as Ab said, talk about the keys of the game. But I think the guys got a little bit more motivation because one of the three of us was really close, and he was yelling at the players in pregame. I saw all these pictures, and he was telling these bums this is what they need to do. Right. Ab was getting all these guys in warm-up. He was telling Gibson what he needs to do. Yep. He said to Chase Sutton, "You're going to make some pressure today, Chase." I heard him say, "Hey, John Bates, you going to catch a pass at some point?" He was yelling at these guys in pregame, and it was motivating them. So I think some of this, we got to all be taking credit because, I mean, Ab was at the game getting these guys fired up, said, "It's been 8 weeks of you all playing like junk. Let's go. Let's turn it around." And they did.
About time. Ab, talk to us. Talk to us about that experience, man.
So I went to the game, and first off, great experience, and shout out to my boy Eric. Eric Brazil. Do you know him, Sean? Do y'all know him?
I know the name. I don't think I know him personally, though.
Okay. He's the little brother of one of my good friends, Angel. Angel was on the dance team in high school, and we bump heads often, but I still love the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, but he out of nowhere just like, "Hey, you want to go to the game?" I was like, "Show enough, sure." You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen you in a few years. Show enough, let's go. We get to the game, and I'm already ready. After the drive, after our park, I started getting littied in the mug, bro. I started getting my sip on. And I was ready. So I saw people with jerseys on, so I had to go say something to them. And so I went over there, talked to them. We get to the game, and we got about an hour pregame in, and just the atmosphere just felt different. You know what I'm saying? I love the cool air. I loved everything. We get inside, they're doing the veterans thing, and I was like, I had my veterans jersey on. I loved it, man. I just loved the whole thing. But then we were over by the tunnels, and right before and I got there, and I was just like, I started yelling down at the tunnels and everything. I'm like, "Yo, let's go. Let's go." I need a little bit of energy out of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Let's go. Let's go." Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Say what you I'm like, give me what you do. Like we did in football, bro. Let's go. Let's go. And then all of a sudden they come out, and I'm trying to tell you, like, it was a different feel. Like, it was like the fans knew it, the players knew it. Like, you know what I'm saying? When Brady came out there and was like flat and throwing a ball, like the first interception, like, I think everyone knew it. It's like, it's not his day. It is not his day. And then I'm sitting there just like, and I'm praying. Like, I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm talking mess about Heinicke the whole game. He holding the ball too long. He just want to lose this game, man. I was mad, man. Holding the ball so damn long. I was screaming, man. But then but I'm trying to tell you, the atmosphere was great, guys. It was absolutely wonderful. And everything would have been coping. Like, honestly, this would have been the best time I've had in a long time if I didn't wake up in the morning afterwards and see that I'm a damn meme on Twitter. Yeah, you're right.
Yo, when I saw that, 504 mentioned hot fibers.
I'm a meme on damn Twitter, y'all. Like, what the F?
Let's go.
I mean, who let Darius Geis in here?
First off, why didn't either of you tell me I look like Darius Geis? I mean, I think I should have heard it from my friends first. I should have heard it from y'all first.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. I'll be real with you. I didn't think it at all. There was nothing that drove me to it. But when I saw that picture, I seriously looked like
it was like,
snap. There it is. I did not see this. Absolutely. That was absolutely hilarious. But look, it was a great feel. It was a great look. Kat and I actually found a great seafood spot that we ate called Captain Pell's in Fairfax. Great food, crabs, shrimp, lobster, everything. So we watched the game over there, and it was just like, oh man, here we go. But we are honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. So we do have to ask the question, seeing as Tom Brady did throw 2 first-quarter interceptions. That offense did struggle with drops and third down percentage. Did Washington win the game, or did Tampa Bay lose it? Ab, coming back to you, what do you think on this one?
So I think it's both. I know that's not a good answer. I know I'd be the first one to call you guys out if y'all said this
an
answer.
Incomplete answer right here. Incomplete.
I'd be the first one to call you guys out and be like, what the answer the damn question. But I think it's a little both. I really, really do, guys. Like this, so Washington, we capitalized on plays. We didn't make as many mistakes. Honestly, one thing that people will not home in on is the penalties that Tampa Bay committed. Like, they couldn't hold their water at all on the offense, on the D line when we were doing our hard counts. Hell, they didn't even know their counts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they couldn't hear. I think that, like, finally our fandom was a factor against them, because they didn't know what to go, like when to go on their calls and everything. So they couldn't hold their water or anything. So, but on the other side of things, we actually did a very good job. Like, don't get me wrong, because I'm gonna criticize the hell out of this team after we're through. But I think ultimately we did a very good job play calling, fluid play calling. Yeah. Didn't make that many mistakes. Heinicke, he did what he could do. He didn't try to do more than that. You get what I'm saying? Like that. Yeah. That's very, very big. Like, and to me, it's just that everything that could go right in this game went right, and that's why I say Tampa Bay. That's why I say it's both. Tampa Bay messed it up for themselves, but at the same time, we actually did very well ourselves too.
Right. Absolutely. Will, what are you thinking, man?
Yeah, I think we won the game. I think you go back to it, not only just the turnovers. You talk about that final drive.
Yep.
And I think if you think about, you mentioned it, Ab, what the players are feeling, the energy of the stadium, I think one team wanted it way more than the other team out there. Yes. And you saw that when it took on the third effort, our offensive lineman pushing him in there. Antonio Gibson into the end zone. They wanted that guy to score. They were making sure that this was happening. I think there was a huge difference in the will of it. And I think, we forced those interceptions on Tom Brady. They weren't like just like lucky plays out there. I thought back to like William Jackson's interception. It was, being in the right place at the right time, but it was Cam Curl making the hit that popped the ball loose, being there, playing underneath and making that play, which we had said the week before, hey, where's Cam Curl been in a while? He hasn't been making an impact, and he did. And then on the pick by Bobby McCain, how did it happen? Pressure up the middle by Jonathan Allen. It forced Brady to throw the ball way earlier than he wanted to. Yep. He was out of rhythm in his drop back, and he made a terrible throw. Shout out to Jack Niedermeyer, because when we re-signed Jonathan Allen, I was kind of like, and that's when he came up with the stats saying like he was number 3 among all defensive tackles in pressure. Yeah. And that's kind of, we've talked about what I always talk about Fletcher Cox, because the way I look at it is if we can get someone coming up the middle, it's going to disrupt these quarterbacks from being step in. And if that prevents them from stepping up, that's going to allow our speed guys on the outside, Young and Sweat, to make plays. And so that's why I'm so big on, man, if we can have a penetration up the middle, it can change everything. And he was a friggin' wrecking ball on Sunday. He was awesome. You know who else was awesome on Sunday? Joey slide. We
did what he had to do.
3 field goals. We made 2 extra points.
Let's
he
go.
was a professional kicker out there. And
there we
it
go.
wasn't the ball got kicked and it's off kilter and it comes back at the end.
Oh, yeah.
It was in every time, right down the middle. I mean, it was feeling good. And yeah, it wasn't great that we were getting picks and field goals because against Tom Brady, you don't want to be trading field goals for touchdowns, but we were getting something and we kept getting something and we kept adding points. And that was something we were missing. And you talked about it, Ab. I think our coaching staff deserves a lot of credit for as much criticism as they've gotten from us, from the media, from the fans, and it's been valid. They turn things around. We talked about last week how Ron Rivera is like, okay, he hasn't lost the locker room yet. Does he have the guys playing for him? And he sure as heck did on Sunday. Scott Turner, like you mentioned, we said, let's play within Heinicke's strengths. It seemed like that was much more the game plan behind it. We'll get to Heinicke in a little bit. And even Jack Del Rio, I mean, let's be honest. He didn't let Tom Brady carve him up. The defense played fantastic. Finally, they put together like all this potential. Yes. They finally put it together. It's kind of how I felt on Sunday. Whereas like the stats may not show as much the end scoreboard, but I think we beat the living snot out of Tampa Bay in that game. Physically and just kind of, like we had that game.
Yeah. Ab, you about to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that. So to me, I think they were actually playing I know. I don't know if you remember me saying this, but it's like they were calling the wrong plays for the offense that's being put out there.
Yeah.
And it looked finally like they were actually calling the right plays. And I'm telling you guys that football is chess, not checkers. And honestly, it looks like we're learning how to play chess now. And and to me, I think that's a very big deal. And it starts with the coaching, just like you said, Will. Like it starts with the coaching. And the coaches did, for the most part, I mean, there was still some in my opinion, but honestly, for the most part, this game looked really good from a play calling standpoint. And I mean, both offense and defense. So, I'll be the first one to carve them up. You guys already know that I'm a big critic on coordinators, but I would say for the most part, this game, they did an excellent job. Okay. Almost like they did their homework. And I'm just wondering, why did it take week 10 in order to start doing your homework on how these teams play? So, but at this, you can't just go out there and be like, oh, this is a good play. This is a good play. It's not a good play because you've seen it on Madden, bro. It needs to be a good play for that particular moment.
Time,
you know what I'm saying? There's so many aspects of the game but to me, they were so fluid. They were actually fluid in this game, and I was very, very proud from this game.
Yeah.
Especially because, truthfully, I think Tampa has a better coaching staff than we do. I think Todd Bowles is the best coordinator in the game, and I hope he gets another good opportunity, not another go to the New York Jets, opportunity. Get him in a good spot. And Bruce Arians, he showed it in Arizona. That he could take them over. He did well that year in Indy. So, and obviously then winning the Super Bowl there. So the fact that we were able to go up against them and probably out-coach them, out-scheme them, which I will say this, we had 2 weeks to do this. So, I mean, if we can't do it, now you really got to be questioning the season.
It's like, wait a minute, pump your brakes.
Right. But they did. They did. Like you said, you got to give the coaching staff credit. Now, I just hope that, all right, you had 2 weeks to do this now, and things worked out. What are we going to see, next week? What are we going to see coming up here? Can this be sustainable? Have you figured out the rhythm of your team and what they can and can't do? And can you now put the guys in the position to succeed?
Right. We got to make sure we do not regress, man. Honestly, I think this game fell on 3 points. I think you guys hit the nails on the head with everything you guys were saying. I think this game came down to number one. Our defense played incredibly inspired. We talk about the 2 interceptions in the first half. We held them to
first quarter.
We held them to 54 yards, 53 rushing yards on the ground, which is huge with with a Leonard Fournette backfield. Time of possession. What did we say? We said if we keep Tom Brady off the field, that's going to increase our chances. We doubled their time of possession, 39:08 to 20:52. Okay. And then at the end of the day, third down. We have all year struggled with third down. We are one of the worst third down teams. We held them to be, like I talked about, we had 4 and 10 on third down. We went 11 of 19. That was just over 10 times on third down when we got it. And I think that is so huge that we did that. But at the end of the day, when we needed it, we did what we needed to do. If you look at the beginning of that drive, and Ab and I were talking before, we both watched the game again today. If you look at the beginning of that drive, it was it over 9 minutes on the clock? And we took the entire rest of that game and we drove down the field methodically each point. And you saw in Tyler Heinicke, who we'll talk about in a minute, how he got more just pumped into it. And it was funny because in the back of my head, I'm like you, Ab. I'm sitting here like, man, okay, all right, what's going to happen? Tom's going to get it back and he's going to throw it, blah, blah, blah. I'm just jinxing myself just the whole nine. And the one thing I did not see from Tom that I actually saw from Heinicke was that scowl. Tom just kind of looked passive. I'm like, you know what I mean? Almost like he kind of knew the fate. But with Heinicke, it was just like, every penalty, he's like, every time something happens, he's going over there and he's diving, he's running, he's doing what he needs to do. I was impressed by them, but I think we hit it on every single facet. Special teams was good. Defense played inspired. Offense didn't mess up, and we took advantage of their mistakes. So, yes, I'm definitely looking forward to – I love what we've done, but let's pump the brakes. This was one game. Like Will said, we have done this. We have a tendency to do this. Surprise the best team and then go back to doing some nonsense. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But we're going to move on to the longest running segment on Washington Football Weekly. Like it, love it, or hate it. Yeah, buddy. Let's get it. Let's absolutely get it. Oh, man. Yo, and like we just said, we're going to bring up the man, the quarterback, the guy that, hey, whether we like it or not, he's been in there since essentially the first game, and he's done what he tried to do. He's doing what he tried to do. So like it, love it, or hate it, Ab, 26 of 32, 256 yards, 2 TDs in a cold stadium. You were there. Like it, love it, or hate it, his performance.
Say it.
Right. Let's go.
I like it. It was all right. I like it. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I can't. They played the game. Like, I'm trying to tell you guys, like, Heinicke, I love his passion. I love that he gives us a certain type of energy out there. And I love that we're not hurting for a quarterback with him here. I love that part of it. I love that I love that we're actually in the game. Like, he has that killer mentality and everything like that. But I still hold fast in what I've been saying all year about him. He is not our quarterback of the future. And I think this game kind of proved it on an analytical level. Yeah, these numbers are okay. These numbers, he's holding the ball too long. He holds it so long. Who said that?
Eric Brazil.
Yeah. I was telling Eric that the whole game. Like, I'm trying to tell you, I know Eric was sick of me. I know he was sick of me because I was just like, he holds it so long, man. I was just so ill about that, and I said it the whole time. But he is not the court on an analytical level. Sean, if you look, this guy is highly inaccurate when he throws the ball over 15 yards. over 15 yards, highly inaccurate. And honestly, if it's 20 yards, don't even expect it to be anywhere near one of our receivers. You know what I'm saying? So, but to me, I think that's where the coaching is, or coaching and coordinating is where you say, okay, he's limited this way. Where can I put him? How can I put him in a situation to excel at? And that's why I harp on you guys about coaching and coordinating. That's why. Yeah. But honestly, they limit him on what he can do. And honestly, I appreciate that. And that's how you should coach. That's how you should coordinate. But I don't think he's the quarterback of the future at all, one bit. He's there. He's literally here to get us through the season. And guys, I'll even say this to you guys because I know the next question is going to be like, well, is he good for a backup? I'm going to say no, he is not. I think a good backup is someone that can come in 1, 2, 3 games out of the year, blah, blah, blah. Also, they need to have experience too. I think a good backup is a past starter that doesn't have a good full season in them anymore. And I think it's someone like Joe Flacco. That's a good backup. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the route. So next year, I think we're looking at 2 new quarterbacks for this team. And honestly, it sucks. And because of what Heinicke is doing, like honestly, he's giving this town, the city, like its passion back. And I honestly, and I'm not taking that away from him, but in the analytical level, and like how long can this last though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how long before, like, and another to point out, teams don't even go past 10 yards on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always stay, the defense always stays in the box. They always stay in the box, and they don't go past, like, further than about 10 yards from the line of scrimmage when he's about to throw, because they know that he doesn't have the long ball. So that means it's not a threat. And to me, it's just like, even if we had Samuels, we wouldn't be able to throw it down the damn field to him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say this too about Heinicke. He got lucky on a few throws also, guys. Like, let's just be real about it. It wasn't like he did like this ultimate skillful thing. It was some luck and a few of his throws. One went through the defender's hand, which should have been an interception, went through his hand, and it ended up in Carter's hand for a completion of 20 yards. Bro, come on, man. And he almost messed up the touchdown throw to Carter. And it was like, honestly, it was a nice throw, very nice throw. But the defender was right there and almost swatted it. So I'm just like, it was good. Like, and it was over 20 yards. It was like a 20-yard throw. So that means it's kind of, I'm already questioning it, because it's like, if it was luck, if it was like, I'm going to just try to throw it, see if he's going to get it like Terry normally does, or what. So let me know what y'all think. But I give him a C+, guys. I really do. Like, I give him a C+ for it. But a lot of that has to do with us winning.
Will, what you think, man?
So, you bring up a really good point about, can he be a backup? Because if you think about it, depending on if we were to draft a quarterback and have him on this roster, we would have Gus versus Heath 2.0. Because Heinicke is growing a fan base.
That's what
for a little bit like what you talk about. He's energizing people. He does come in with that passion and that fire, and he can get things going. And so if you're gonna draft somebody and have him around, because he's started his 8th game of his career. He's 28 years old, but this is only his first season starting. So in his mind, he's a rookie at the same time. He's going through this for the first time. Where, like you said, when you get an Andy Dalton out there, he's had his time. Now he recognizes his role is to mentor Justin Fields, or it was, a mentor Dak, and kind of, he fills in where it was. Whereas like Heinicke may split the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, Chase Young is a big Heinicke fan. You know, there are other players out there that are big fans of his, and that may not be what we want. But when we're talking about the game versus Tampa, I absolutely loved what he did. And a lot of it has to do with exactly what you talked about, Ab, where it had to go with the game plan. We said, let's run some boots with him. And when he was running those boots, he was so confident running those fakes and turning, and he would see his receivers and zip it to him, to Ricky Seals-Jones out there a little bit. I think he hit Carter and Dax Milne. Like, that was effective. He did what he can do with his legs. He runs, he can run a little bit. I will say this. I came and worked at halftime, so I happened to miss the first drive where I heard he held on to the ball too long and took sacks. Yep. I also missed the throw, only to see it afterwards, that got tipped and went into Carter's hands. So at the end of the game, I was like, man, he played a flawless game.
It was perfect.
And I was sitting there going, okay, what is Ab going to try and pick apart here? Because this was spectacular. And I got to be able to back it up and say, no. So then, I didn't see that. And also I looked at Twitter. I was like, and it was like, gotta get rid of the ball. Held on to too long. I'm like, oh, whoop, missed that one. So maybe that was good for me. But again, so what I was wanting to see from the offense was, show me what Alex Smith did last year. Be that offense right now. Until we get people back, that is the best we can have. And especially when Ricky Seals-Jones went out with his hip injury, I think it might have been. Like, now you're down your second best weapon out there, you know? And so I thought he played within the game plan. And on that last drive, he made some throws, some quick reads to get rid of it. And so, I mean, I loved how he played, because I felt he kept us in the game and gave us the opportunity to win.
Yeah. I honestly, I mean, I kind of agree with that. I'm on your point, Will. I mean, I think he is that type of player that just the fan is just attracted to. I mean, if you really sit there and think, he is kind of like us, you know. He's not the best, he's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, whatever. But he's loud. He loves his team. He goes hard for his squad, and he's gonna mess up. He's going to mess up, just like many times that we've come out here and been like, oh, we're going to win this game, and then have to eat our words next week, you know. But he's relatable, you know, because he came off the street. He was doing insurance, and then he was quarterback. So, Will, there's a shot there.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There we go.
I can get hired by Washington. Right. I'll help him pick the name. I got you, folks.
There we
Red
go.
Wolves, here it is.
We just got to get in the door, Will. As long as we get in the door, we're good. But you know what? But I mean, I got to go back to Ab's point, because I think we know his flaws, we know his strengths, we know his weaknesses, but I thought they did a great job in putting him in successful positions. They allowed him to do a lot more boots. That allowed him to get more connections to the tight end, more to Deandre Carter. Bates got three catches in the game. I mean, and that almost got that fumble, but thank God the elbow went down. But I mean, but I mean, think about what we were saying in the offseason. This guy is going to be a blocking tight end. We're not going to look for anything. He's not getting any type of separation. He looked good. He got jumped on it. Not good. He looked like he did exactly what we need to do. Look, we played a pretty solid game, but I think it goes back to what you're saying, Ab. The play calls were beneficial to him. They made him look better with some of the things that he's still going to make his mistakes and things of that nature. But as far as this game, his grit, his toughness, his energy, especially with what we're about to talk about next, it impressed me. It makes me feel good. But we got to move on to the next topic on Like It, Love It, Hate It. Will, I'm coming to you. The defense without Chase Young.
Well, you can do nothing but hate this. He got called out this past 2 weeks by his coaches, and this was his chance to do something about it, and the fact that he got hurt. So now in year 3, he's coming back from injury. We got to deal with rehab all off season. How's he doing? That's good. That's going to be concerning. But more at the end of the day, his sophomore season was a complete bust. He didn't have the numbers that people expected of him. He didn't make the impact people expected of him, but he only got half a season. It really stinks because, as we mentioned all off season, we have no depth back there.
Yep.
And now his running mate on the other side is out. And so now we are starting James Smith-Williams and Casey Toohill. This was the nightmare scenario we talked about.
Yep.
The only thing we said is, what if this happens for COVID, is what we kept saying. Well, or, and now we're here.
Yeah.
Everything
Injuries
that we didn't want to be a part of, we're here. And so it really sucks. It sucks for him that he has to deal with this. It sucks for our team because he is a locker room presence. He's an on-field presence. He's a other team presence. They're going to scheme for him. So it certainly is. It's awful for him. You feel bad for the injury he's got to go with. I heard he showed some emotions in the locker room. No surprise there. Nobody wants to go through this. And you just hope maybe being around the team, he gets a chance to see other things and ways to improve his game for year 3. Because unfortunately, we saw there are some things he needs to work on. I just wish he had the chance to do it through a full 16, 17 games.
Yeah, absolutely. Ab, what are you thinking, man?
I hate it, man. Not only Chase Young, but this game felt like it took out a lot of people on our team. There was a point in the game where I literally was like, look, hold this. I'm about to jump in and I need to help my team out. Put me in, coach. That's how I was, man. Literally, everybody was getting hurt this game, man. And it's just, we've seen this before, guys.
Yep.
We've seen it before where our team is decimated by injury, and then all of a sudden, but our expectations are still high. So it doesn't, you get what I'm saying? We have nobody to run these plays, but we still want them to win. And it doesn't waver at all. So I hate this. I hate it, guys. You thought we were bad with Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Watch out. Literally watch out, bro. Because honestly, you guys are going to see that it probably wasn't even that bad. it probably wasn't even that bad. This is going to make you guys appreciate our 2 bookends for real.
Yeah, no, I hate it. Absolutely hate it. I mean, can't say much more to what you guys said. And I think the biggest issue is going to be, they might not, by sack totals, they might not have got the most production, but their impact was felt more than just at the, rushing the quarterback, but also in the run game. Having to, equal or even come somewhat close to that production from the remaining guys that we're going to have to put in there. It's just, I just hate it. I'm telling you, I was in the happiest place in the world, eating my seafood, cracking a crab leg, and they came from commercial, and you see Chase on the crutches, and it's just drop. I don't even care about this anymore. Check. I need to. It was terrible to see. You do not want to see it. Obviously wish the best, but we're gonna have to step up. These guys are gonna have to step up. We talked about this in the offseason. Injuries being the issue, the depth being the issue. Let's see what we're gonna do from this, man.
Hey, Ab, what was the stadium like when the cart came out and people started going, "Oh, that's Chase Young on the ground"?
In my area, I was the first one to notice, and then when people heard me cussing up a storm, you know what I'm saying? We got kids over here. I was sitting there, you know what I'm saying? Because, you already know, I'm focused, man. And I get there, and I'm sitting there, cussing up a storm, and then what's going on? What's going on? And I'm like, Chase is down. And then they're dumb about it. Oh, they're bringing out the stretcher. I'm like, oh, damn. And then they were like, oh, he's walking off. So it's not that bad. I'm like, that's live. You can tell you never played sports. I was just like, nobody wants to be carted off. Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy had to, and like, especially a guy with this energy set, this guy that is the energy of our locker room. He doesn't want to bring that mood down. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't want them thinking about anything else other than the game. And it's just, that's the type of person he is. And he was just like, and then that's why he came out afterwards on the crutches and everything like that. He wanted to make sure this team is still focused on the game. And honestly, that's all that was, is when he was walking off, I was just like, this man is done for the season. And it was like a debate, like literally it was a debate, because I'm trying to tell them this is in a sense hubris, but then at the sense is like a leader thing, a leader that just wants to make sure that his guys are focused on the game and getting this W. And then shortly afterwards, they were like, they played it over, or I think I saw it on my phone or something like that, but it's like they fear he's out for the season. And I'm like, I called it. You know what I'm saying? You don't
that came out quick.
Yeah, you don't roll around on the ground like that
unless
you're out for the done.
10 minutes later, I think Twitter was all set. Like, reporters were like, "Yeah, team fears he's done," and I'm like, "Yeah, you can see that. You know, non-contact injury, when you go down like that, those are game over."
Yeah.
That's a shame,
I was at the South Carolina game when Marcus Lattimore ripped up his knee. And let me tell you, you talk about your stomach and the complete energy of a stadium just whoosh. And when people are like, "Oh my God, that's Lattimore down there," and then you saw the cart, and then you saw the towel go over his leg, and you're just like, "Oh my gosh!" So like I had flashbacks when it was, because you saw, because when they showed Chase, slamming the ground, you knew he was in a lot of pain. Then I was like, this doesn't look good. And then you saw the cart, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine, knowing that you were there, but I can't imagine what that stadium is like.
Sickening feeling.
The cart came out pretty fast too, though. Like, honestly, like I've seen carts come out, and I swear, like, takes a whole quarter for it to come out, like, before anything. And then, but this one came out really, really fast, and I was just like, oh man, like, this is bad. And I was just like, and then it was just like, it was like he got hurt, and then everybody else started getting hurt too. And I was just like, it's one of those games, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really is. So it was really, really bad. Like, I think part of the fear is he might not come back the same after the injury. And I think that's what's the real scary part about it.
Yeah. It's tough to think about. But look, we are going to go ahead and try to move on to maybe a little humor, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as you saw before this game, we were 3-6. And as we mentioned a couple weeks back, the last 2 times we've made a run, we were 3-6. So we do have to ask the question, like it, love it, or hate it, chances of making the
playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yo, so look, like I said, we got to win out. We need a lot of help. So the chances are low. I'm going to go ahead and start off with that. The chances are low. Do I believe? Of course, I'm a Washington fan. I went out and purchased these, okay? I definitely believe it could happen, okay, ladies and gentlemen?
Those are beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful, by the way.
But definitely the chances are low with the aforementioned injuries. I mean, not just having Montez Sweat out, but having Chase Young out. All off season, we talked about Brandon Sheriff. Just came back from the injury, then kind of slightly re-injured it, came back in the game, but that's always something that's going to be on our minds. Guys, we're really thin a lot of places, so it'd be foolish to really say, yeah, we can do it, but get that momentum. Follow me here. Last year, it was a awful situation with Coach having cancer. but it focused us, it channels us, and we made the moves. This year is an awful, awful thing to have Chase Young get injured. But we focus. I think it's going to focus us. I think it's going to channel us. And it's like you said, Ab, he didn't stay in the locker room. He didn't go to the hospital. He stayed out there with his guys. And there's something about seeing your leader, even if your leader is hurt, seeing him there, it's like, okay, we're still going. Let's go. So, Ab, I'm coming to you, man. Like it, love it, hate it, our chances at making the playoffs.
I'm gonna have to say I like it. And I'm a pessimistic guy, bro. And I'm gonna say I like it. Like, just from our history, like I think the last 3 times we made the playoffs, we were like, it was a 2-7 record. We started off with like a 2-7 record and 2 3-6 records and everything like that. Granted, we don't have an RG3 here, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we don't have the carousel of quarterbacks here, like from last year. Yeah.
Like Alex Smith.
Check down Charlie. Like, we don't have none of that right now. But I like it from just like, you know what I'm saying? And to me, I don't think we need to win out in order to make the playoffs. Before the show, we were just talking. It was like a 5. So the last spot of the playoffs is to the Carolina Panthers, and they have a 5-5 record. We have a 3-6 record. We're a game and a half behind Carolina. Yeah. So a win over Carolina could possibly, and then if we do somewhat okay throughout, that could be the last playoff spot come the end of the year right there. I'm not saying anything about winning the division. I think we're like 6 games back on Dallas or something like that. Something dumb. but to me, I like this because of our history. Like, we have intent, and I said this a few weeks ago, guys. I brought up the idea that we are a second half team. We play, for whatever reason it is, we play our best football towards the end of the year. And maybe it's because most teams have mostly injuries at the end of the year, have a lot of injuries at the end of the year, whatever. We still do it, okay? That's the whole point, what I'm saying. But I like this, Sean. I do. We have majority of our games are division games. And like I said before, is that we play division games differently. Honestly, if you really have to add that aspect in games when you're going within your division. So I think we have 5 division games left. Yep. So I think we might go 3-2 and finish the season 6-2, 5-3. And I think that would be enough, guys. I think that would be enough.
Well, what you think, man?
This is a really tough question, actually. Nate said it best, where it's like, I like it, but I hate it. And I like it because I'll tell you, this. I hate admitting this, but this is kind of the loser mentality of being a Washington fan. I want meaningful football in December.
Yep.
Okay. I've had so many years of my family gave up season tickets because year after year no one would go to the December games. Even November became a problem. Like, after Thanksgiving, you're just eating tickets and trying to give them away. And it's like, too many years, this wasn't worth it. And so for me, like, as a fan, all I ask for is meaningful football in December, where these games like, oh, we might have a chance, and you start going through these playoff scenarios. So in that sense, I like it because I wish we were in a better situation, but we're not. And we're never in a better situation. So I like that. But I do also look at the fact that, like, how much injuries do we have? How much talent do we have? Mm-hmm. Kind of like last year. It was great making the playoffs. It built up the team. It built up the city. We weren't exactly that good of a team. Mm-hmm. You know, it hurt us the next season with our schedule. It hurt us when it come to draft picks because we were so far behind that we couldn't even go up and get Mac Jones, and now he was the 5th guy picked. It's like, there are bigger things, there are more long-term goals that are happening here where, like, you almost got a top 5 pick wouldn't be bad either. There's some quarterbacks we may want to go after. There's some other players we may want. So it's like it's really hard for me to like answer this. I'm gonna go incomplete. Because it's like I'm 50-50 on like I like being a part of the conversation, and I want us to play meaningful games against the NFC East. I don't know what Philly has, to be honest with you.
Right.
Some weeks they come out here and they play amazing. Other weeks they play terrible. I can't get a read on Philly. I'd love to get a good shot at Dallas. They're having a great season. Hats off to them. Mm-hmm. I think we can beat them one of the 2 games.
Yeah,
I certainly think
so
we can.
too.
And I think that might shut them down a little bit. Let's get a victory over them and our backup quarterback. And so it's like that part would be exciting, and you don't want to go into the last 5 games with the season over. So I got to say I like it because it just makes for more fun football. But you also got to recognize there's a bigger picture out here that we don't want to ruin too much.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Absolutely. Absolutely loved it, ladies and gentlemen. So, hey, like Will mentioned a lot earlier. So you're saying there's a chance. It might be small, but there's always a chance. We say on my show, if you have the faith of the mustard seed, the smallest seed, you have just that faith, you can do it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I believe. I believe, absolutely. Hey, now, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys were with us a week ago, we actually went through and graded our team position by position and also graded the coaches. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see something funny, go back and watch what Ab says about some of these coaches. He has had a love-hate relationship with these guys all year long. But, hey, like you said, Ab, when the coaches put the players in beneficial positions and things like they did this past game, you see what happens. You definitely see what happens. But we missed out on a couple things that we really wanted to kind of get to. And the first thing we want to touch on, draft pick grades, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to go ahead and dive into it. Let me bring this up. Okay. No, that's not it. And we're going to dive into with the very first pick. Will, I'm going to come back to you. Jamin Davis, linebacker, Kentucky.
I'm going to be nice. I'm going to go C. I'm going to go C because he's playing more. He's getting more playing time. He shows he's got some speed out there. So you certainly hope he just needs to continue to learn and figure things out. But it hasn't been the best start for him. That's for certain. Although I think if we look back to the draft, they did talk about this guy being raw and coming in. And so maybe our expectations, knowing how terrible our linebackers were, is this guy can come in and play immediately and contribute. And maybe that was just a little bit too much. Maybe him having to play where John Boss could help him out is a little bit more. But it's been a little bit of a struggle with him. But I have a lot of hope for the future for him. So I'll go C.
What do you think, man?
I really think I'm gonna have to go C also. And I think this game against the Buccaneers kind of upped his average for me because I really was leaning on like a D-, and I wouldn't say bust because I think it's too early to say bust on a player, but Jamin Davis was the second leader of total tackles on our team, and he played a lot more. We needed him a lot more, and honestly, he showed up pretty well, pretty good. And to me, I'm okay with that. Like, honestly, I'm okay with you making mistakes. You just got to be out there to make them, though. And especially the first year. And this is where you learn. This your rookie year. This is where you learn, and you can't learn if you're not out there. So this game kind of showed me a little bit of something. Like I seen him in coverage. I seen him make these tackles. I seen him he challenged Fournette phenomenally in this last game. And I honestly, I appreciate that. That's what you should be doing as the middle linebacker to me. So I agree with you, Will. C. But it's only because of this game. It's only because of this game.
Right. Well, that's why I go D+, because it was going to be a D like you. Because we know he was raw. We know what the situation was coming in. But number one, you got to be on the field. But two, to get him as high as we did, and maybe this is more on myself, because we had such huge expectations. You know, we thought we could put him in there and at least make him do more. And I just would have expected to see more at this point. You guys are right. That last game was good. It was really nice, but at the same time, as in a collective body of work, I think I want to see more. So I can't say he can't improve, because we've seen what he can do when he gets in there. But a lot of that is getting on the field, being in there week in, week out, knowing the system, being in the film room, those type of things. So right now I got D+. All right. Move on to the next pick. Who did I go to first last time? I went to you, Ab, or went to Will?
You went to Will.
All right, Ab, I got you next. Sam Cosmi, offensive tackle, Texas.
Was he out there the last game? Yeah. No, he's out. When he's out there, he's okay. Like, honestly, there's nothing wrong. Like, honestly, to me, I never heard of him before the draft, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was kind of like it wasn't a sexy pick, especially the second going off of what the Washington football team has done in the second round. We don't pick anybody good in the second round. That's not, our history has been really, really bad for second rounders. Honestly, I think this was an okay pick. Honestly, I don't know if they're trying to maybe he'll move over to left tackle next year. I don't know, but right tackle seems like it's okay. And we got the left tackle position is pretty much locked down. So him being our forever right tackle, I'm okay with. I mean, and at the same time, we all upset with the Morgan Moses release, and especially not even getting anything for him.
Right.
But he is actually doing an okay job when he's in. My grade for him, B-.
Like that. Will, what you think?
Yeah, I have to echo just about everything that you said. I give him a B. Like you said, we knew we needed to draft a tackle. I didn't know who. You know, I think a lot of the offseason I thought we'd go first round left tackle. And so you get him and you're like, well, we got to root for him now. He's on our team. You don't know, but when he's played pretty well. And I think what is encouraging is for the next, let's just say 5 to 8 years, we might have one of our tackles on whatever side he stays on. You know, it'd be kind of wild that number 76 on the right side just seems to be that spot for us. Mm-hmm. Go from John Jansen to Morgan Moses to Sam Cosmi, and like you said, we did so bad at drafting second round picks. We finally hit one. It's great. It's great. I'm liking it. I'm encouraged by that pick.
Yeah. What's your grade? What grade you give him?
He said B.
Oh, he said B. Yeah. No, I gotta go with you. I gotta go with you guys with the B, man. I think when he's in, he's a mainstay. He's learning on the fly. He's doing great. I like you, and I watch college football all the time. But I like you, Ab. I had no clue who this guy was. But when they showed me some of the clips when they were doing the pro days and all that stuff, I was like, oh, okay, and like the previews to the draft. So I was like, okay. Look, this is what we wanted. You guys talked about our woes in the second round. We got a legit offensive tackle that we needed. As long as we can stay healthy, like we always joke about, but as long as we can continue that going, I mean, this would be great. I give him a B, man. I'm excited for what he can bring to our team in a position that we have needed for quite some time. You know, moving on, Will, I'm going to come to you. 3rd round pick, Benjamin St. Juice, cornerback from Minnesota.
I'm going to go high here. For a 3rd round pick, I'm going to give him an A for the impact that he's brought us. There are times we've said that he may be our best corner on the field at times. You know, he allowed us he likes to play the outside. He's physical. He's long-armed. He can make plays, not just, you know, he can knock the ball away from guys. He allows Kendall Fuller to play the slot or put him at safety if we need to. He allows some versatility. For a 3rd round pick, nothing nearly as good as the hit with McLaurin, but I think we really hit on this one and did really well, and I'm excited for his future. So I'm, value there increases it to me to be an A.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll go next. I gotta agree with you, man. I absolutely gotta agree with you, man. He's literally come in, he's started, he's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, and a place where we've had some woes. I think, especially where we got him earlier in the 3rd round, I think that's something that I think we actually did good. Between the Cosme pick and the Benjamin St. Juice pick, I think those are 2 potential building blocks that you can have, one on offense and one on defense. He's another one that I'm really looking forward to seeing how the next couple of years progress for him. Ab, what do you think, man?
Well, great. You both said A?
Yeah.
To me, he's on his 2nd concussion, right? Like, he's on his 2nd concussion, being in the league. For being as good, like, and he's 6'4", I want to say 6'3", 6'4" as a cornerback. That's kind of crazy to me. I'm gonna say a very high B, guys. I think his availability kind of scorns me a little bit. And I mean, I would he's a young guy, and to get hurt, to be in the concussion protocol twice already in his short career. That's why we lost. What safety did we lose from the neck injury? It wasn't Everett, was it?
DeShazer Everett? Mm-hmm.
No, what was that?
Mm-hmm.
Like a few years ago, he had like a neck issue and he had to retire literally 2 years into his
Kyshawn Jarrett.
They
loved him. That injury at Dallas. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so to me is he was a talent, bro. And we were looking forward to him, and he was a later pick, maybe even undrafted. And and we were for those steal guys right there. And I think Benjamin was a steal guy too. I think he probably should have gone a little head above the 3rd round than before the 3rd round. But what I'm saying is if you don't learn how to tackle and your position, it's going to be a very short career for you. And honestly, the best thing you can do is be available for your team. Yep. And honestly, the 2 concussions already is what has me kind of on him. So I'm gonna say a B, guys, honestly, but he is definitely our best cornerback on the team.
Nice. All right, moving on to our 2nd pick in the 3rd round, technically our 4th pick overall. I will start with this, as I was the one who hyped this up, and I want to be made very clear, ladies and gentlemen. You see this F right here?
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. F. Okay? I can't even blame this on you not being on the field, because when you are on the field, you have done poor. You have done terrible, man. I was the one who hyped you up. I was the one, Carolina all day. And shout out to him. Maybe he hasn't, got his feet right. Maybe he's just still trying to get acclimated to the system. Whatever it is, he has not looked like the deep threat that I ranted and raved about all offseason and last year coming out of North Carolina. He just never has really gotten his feet under him. And You know I'm a homer. You know I love my guys. I will shout out Tar Heel Nation all day, every day. But nah, bro. You know, if I can go lower than F, I would, because you made me look bad. All right, you're done. Get out of Washington. All right, Will, what you got, man?
I'm glad you went first because I think you needed to go first on this one.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what this shows you? You can't get overhyped about training camp. Because even in training camp, he was getting all the hype from the writers. They were saying how good and how fast he looked, and he's playing all over the place. And now we're halfway through the season, and the writers, when they do their mid-season grades, are like, well, he's really raw, and you can see that he's not ready to play. And it's like, it has to be an F because he's done nothing for us. And he's gotten hurt at times, and when he's out there, he just does nothing. You know, it's like, he's the biggest disappointment of the season so far. Besides overall injuries, like, he's the biggest disappointment because I think we really thought we had this steal of a draft pick that was going to be the next Terry McLaurin for us. And man, is it, I'm not giving up on him career-wise, but it ain't this year.
No, it ain't this year. Yeah, I don't know where you guys got that thought that he was going to be a stud, but, it's not like I was mentioning him. Go ahead, Ab.
So, yeah. Sorry, Sean. Like, I can only think of, I'm with you. You both said it right. Like, he hasn't really shown up when he had the availability to show what he can do, and he just hasn't done it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think honestly, he might. I see the potential in him. I do. I think we might be just the worst team. Like, we're the worst team for quarterbacks, and I want to say wide receivers too. Like, I think we're not a good team for that. And it's just like, honestly, I don't know so much about the hype on like training camp and everything like that. I think there's a little bit of truth to it, but it's just something about us and quarterbacks and wide receivers that we just don't bode well with them at all, man. Like, and I don't know, man. Because we had AGG and Harmon, and like, honestly, I'm still big on them. It's just, for whatever it is, they're just not clicking here. You know what I'm saying? But I think somewhere else they might go. I think if Brown was maybe on the Patriots or something, it'd be a different story. It would be a big different story. But at the same time, I don't think he's had any opportunities lately. So what can we really say about him, like, other than incomplete but an F,
Yeah. F. I give my blessing. Just give him an F. Get out of here. Yo, we got to move on from this one. Yo, the next one is the first pick in the 4th round, after this week's performance, I'd take him over Deandre Brown. John Bates, tight end from Boise State. Will, what do you think, man?
So it's tough to kind of grade him because his season is occurring the way we kind of anticipated. He was drafted to be our second, third tight end, be the blocker guy. So he's done that. They said he could be a red zone target. And, I mean, you saw that catch on Sunday. Man, he snatched that thing out of the air. Mm-hmm. He didn't look like he had any problem. And I'm reading some things about him, and they say he's got just as good a hands as Logan and Ricky does. That catching is not a problem. It's, can he get open? That's the problem for him.
Separation.
Right. So it's like, how do you grade this guy where he's doing what he was kind of brought in to do, which is be unspectacular at what you do? I mean, I guess I'll be nice tonight and say I'll give him a C, and maybe Sunday's game is affecting my grade. It's curving my grade up, because I mean, up until then, you didn't see him but blocking, so you can't really grade him much on that. But he trended a little bit, and now we need him because now he's our starting tight end. So let's see how he does.
Yeah. Ab, what do you think, man?
I'm sorry. I can't help but blame the coaches for how they used him. We made the argument saying that the coaches finally used Heinicke in a way that he was successful in. I don't think they did that with anybody else, though. I don't think they utilized the other players like that. Maybe McKissick, that's a different argument. But John Bates, I don't think so. I think John Bates is just a rookie version of Cameron Brate. And honestly, you can block. Like, honestly, Brate had his first touchdown against us. And, it's the same play that they do with Gronkowski. They sit there and you block at the line. You block for about 2 seconds or so, and then you release, and then you run forward maybe 3 yards, and the ball is right there. They don't create any of these plays for our players like that. You get what I'm saying? It's some really novice shit that how they make these plays. And but he has the body type as a Brate. And honestly, he could probably have a body type as like Gronkowski, but we just don't know how to use him, man. And like, to me, it's like, do we blame him for that, or do we blame our coaches? You know? So, right. I mean, we can put all the blame on him because of how the coaches utilize him, but I mean, how do they utilize any of these players? But Brate, like, honestly, he's done what he was supposed to do when we drafted him. And so, I mean, so what? I'll give you a C for that. But to me, is that we'll see what's different is when it comes your turn to start catching these balls and everything like that. I don't think you should be swinging them out to where he almost created that fumble. I don't think that's the spot you put a tight end at. You get what I'm saying? Like, he should be finding a soft spot in the middle of the defense where there's a hole at, and that's where you dump the ball off to him. Mm-hmm. They didn't utilize him like that. So again, how do you utilize him, and do we blame him or do we blame the coaches? So I give him a C.
Yeah. I think you have to, because we can't judge him on things we haven't seen if he hasn't been on the field. Because, like you said, if the coaches haven't put him out there, what can we really judge him on? But look, that game, we saw that game, and he was available. He did what he needed to do. Now let's be very clear. He did get those catches, but he was an elbow away from losing the ball in our red zone, giving it back to Tom Brady, and what would have potentially changed definitely the whole momentum of the game. Now, he got saved by the rule and his elbow being down, but like you said, Ab, that's not somebody who I need shooting out in the flat real quick, especially when those corners are coming up really quick. So as soon as he turns around, they're clipping him. I don't need him doing that. Give him something, 10 yards, boop, sit down, done. So and look, we'll see. They removed it again. This is the only thing we have to really judge him on. We don't really have much footage elsewhere to be like, oh yeah, well, he did this on this route, this and that. So I got to go like C, but that ball control issue, if you get hit, because everybody's going for that pop, that knockout, the knockout punch of the ball. So you need to protect that ball. And if you look at that clip, when he got up and kept running, then he kind of, was juggling it and essentially kicked it to them. You know what I mean? So, look, again, I can't really blame him that much because if you haven't been on the field and the first time you really get in action, yeah, you might have some jitters. I get that. So, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. But, yeah, C. But, hey, John Bates, man, Boise State. Shout out to you, buddy. Shout out to you. Now, look, I'm coming to you next because next pick in the draft, safety from the University of Cincinnati, Derek Forrest.
Haven't seen much of him. So this is as much of an incomplete as you can get right here to me.
I was hoping to say that. I was like, this guy's the incomplete. He's been on injured reserve the entire season. I was hoping I'd get to go first. Because it is, unless you fail him for being hurt, but he hasn't been eligible.
Right.
I mean, it says that he has a tackle on the game against Tampa Bay, but like I said, they play him sparingly. Like he played like the first game, and then he didn't seem like he played at all, and then all of a sudden he shows up again this last game. But like, it's just he plays sparingly. This is as incomplete as you can get right here, man. We really can't. You really cannot say anything about this guy. You don't know what you have in this guy.
Yeah. Will, I'm coming to you, but yeah, that one tackle, if I'm not mistaken, because I remember it was the first time I had heard his name, and I was like, oh well, it was on special teams. I think it was a special teams tackle where he came down the field and got it, and I was like, oh, he's still on the team. Cool. But yeah, no, I'm up with you. I got nothing to judge this guy on. Okay, glad you got a tackle, man. But hey, Will, what do you think?
Yeah, incomplete, absolutely incomplete. But to what you just said, Sean, that's exactly the role that he was drafted to do this year, is to play special teams. So if that's what he can do, and he's already making impact, man, good for him. But yeah, it's like I don't want to knock the guy because he hasn't been able to play. So we got no film to go on. So incomplete.
There you go. All right, moving on. And actually, I don't even know if we can really judge this. 6th round pick, Cameron Cheeseman, long snapper from Michigan. Will, what you got on this one?
Oh, he's an A. What a steal the draft, man. People yelling that you don't draft a long snapper. We just got our guy for the next 10 years.
Let's get it.
He's snapping it back with force to Tress Way. I mean, this guy was a stud. What a steal. I have no idea. I mean, he ain't snapping it over people's heads. He's not snapping into the ground, so I think he's doing good. He's getting an A. He's doing good.
Yeah, what do you think, man?
Honestly, like he's not snapping over people's heads. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. And honestly, honestly, I haven't seen much of anything just being totally ridiculous on his part, like bad snaps or anything like that. So to me, I'm gonna say C+ because he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. I just don't honestly, I have to knock him for being drafted in the 6th round. Like that's the only bad thing I really have to shit on him about, is because you do not have to draft a long snapper. You do not.
He will be there later.
You do not. So it's literally wasted a pick, and it like, you get what I'm saying? It's like, so that's the only reason why I'm shitting on them. It's like, so C+ for doing your job, but I'm sorry, you're an A for doing your job, but I have to deduct points because we drafted you in the 6th round. So
I gotta check out your scoring scales, man. Yo, I'm going to be very clear. This might shock you. You think you were rough on him? I'm rougher. I give him an F. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not – look, this has nothing to do with football at all. This has to do with the college that he went to and my love for my fiance. And he went to Michigan. My fiance's a Michigan State fan, so I can't root for the guy. He's garbage. Let's go. No, look, hey, like you said, we can't really – hey, the ball's been getting back there to everybody. He's had to deal with 3 different kickers. Hey, he replaced the guy that had been there for some time. Hopefully he can keep this up. But like you said, Ab, you don't waste a pick this high. I mean, I think at this point, I think Jabril Cox was still available. Brevin Jordan was still available. We were talking about that on draft night. Wasn't it before the 6th round and they get picked 6?
Maybe Jordan, but Cox was drafted in the 3rd round by Dallas.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. But no, yeah. I would have been screaming if he was still available and we go drafting a long snapper.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so, you can even throw a pick at a quarterback in the 6th round. You know what I'm saying? Like, just here, like, just throw it at a dart on the wall or some shit like that. But a long snapper, bro.
Wow. Yes. All right. So quickly moving on to, we had 3 picks in the 7th round. The first one, Ab, I'm coming to you. William Bradley King from defensive end from Baylor.
This is an incomplete too. I don't think we've seen him. Is he even on the practice squad? He's on the practice squad. So yeah, incomplete, man. So next.
Yeah. Will, you got the same thing?
I know we can't really fault him for being a 7th round pick, but he didn't make the roster and the other guy did. So I can't grade him with the same. So I'm going to give him an F. He didn't make the roster.
Yeah. I haven't literally not seen anything from him, so I got to go incomplete myself. Next, Will, I'm coming back to you. Shaka Tony.
Yeah, so I was really surprised that he made the roster, and he did. And now he's going to get a chance to play, and there's some folks that are excited to see it. How do I grade him for being a backup defensive end, but he's played special teams, so for doing his role on special teams, I'll give him a C. He's done nothing to go less than that, nothing to go above it.
Yep. Ab, what do you think?
Honestly, like I had to say incomplete too. Like, we have nothing to grade him on. You know what I'm saying? So, he will, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm assuming it'll be him, Tony, and Tuhill at the defensive end spots. And so I think that's when you'll move up. Was it King Smith King? Is that
no? They brought up your guy Bunmi Rotimi, and then they promoted Daniel Wise this week. But don't forget, James Smith-Williams is going to be the starter. He's their 3rd defensive end, next guy in the rotation. Okay. So to me, incomplete for this. Then there's not much to grade him on. Like, it's not like he got much work as a defensive end, so not much to really say right here.
Yeah, as a defensive end, I agree with that. As somebody that's being available, as he's a 7th round pick, so there wasn't that much expected, and he's kind of like Derek Forrest, where he's like, all right, I'm on special teams. And we've talked about it many times how people as great as Terrell Davis made the team started by playing on special teams. So he's available when we need him. Let's definitely see. I think a lot of things we might be potentially grading him on is potential, because now we're definitely going to see what he's going to, now the rubber hits the road. Now we're going to see him in action. So we will definitely see how that is. But like you said, Ab, as far as defensive end, we can't really judge him on that right now. We can judge him on just being a part of the team. Last but most certainly not least, Dax Milne, wide receiver, BYU. I'm going to start, and I'm going to say C-. And the reason I add that minus, because Dax, man, we said that you were going to be the one that was going to make the team from the very bottom. That fumble, man, bro, I was hot. And you looked on his face, man. Look, Dax looked like a little kid about to cry sitting on that bench. And if you watched him walk to the bench, nobody talked. They just made like a little path. He went down and sat there. The camera went to him. He was just so he's happy they won that game, and that's why I go with the minus. But look, last player drafted, we know what he did with Zach Wilson at BYU and everything coming in. All things considering, we had a bunch of people before him and talked about that in the offseason. He's done what he's asked. With the exception of the fumble, he's been pretty consistent. He's at least been getting on the field, doing what he's needed to do. So I can't really gauge him on a lot, but I do. And again, most of this is on potential, and hopefully he'll do something more. I got to go C- on that one. Ab, what do you think?
I'm gonna say D, because he only has 5 catches on the year, so I'm at D-, definitely. You only have 5 catches, and you're getting this opportune time over a 3rd round pick. You know what I'm saying? So you need to make the most of it, and I just don't think he's doing that. So yeah, D-, guys.
Gotcha. Will, what do you think, man?
Well, he's certainly not outplaying Adam Humphries, so he's not doing what you all wanted him drafted to do.
Oh, man.
So I can't be grading him good on that. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of your 7th round pick. What are our expectations of you, in your first year, in your first 8 games? Okay, so you've gotten open. Like, wide receivers can get open, can run routes. So I can't really be like, oh, good job. And that fumble, is not going to keep you on the field. I'll go C. I'll be nice. He's a 7th round pick. He's gotten open a couple times, but he ain't making much of an impact. And I don't have a lot of like De'Ami Brown is like, well, I really want to see what he can develop into. Dax Milne, I'm like, he's a nice player. Is he going to be on next year's roster? I can't tell you that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So look, that is our there is the grades we have for each of the teams. Yeah.
Should we do the 2 undrafted? I know Nathan asked us to talk about Reyes. Should we talk about Patterson?
Let's do it. So with the first undrafted, let's talk about it. Jaret Patterson out of Buffalo. We ran and raved about him. Look, he's had some decent days. He had some days where he got in. He's getting things going. We all know he's behind 2 guys that are solid in their position. Gibson when he's on the field. McKissick, he's been obviously showing out. So behind the 2 of them, he's not getting a lot of looks. I want to definitely give him the shout out because, like we talked about, he was in the very end of the depth chart in training camp, and he made the cut as the 3rd running back. You know what I mean? So we got to give him credit for that. I'm going to give him a C just to be positive because I'm still hoping he turns out like I want him to do. Will, what do you think?
Yeah, factor in the fact that he was undrafted and the fact that he is playing behind 2 guys who are really good at what they do or show potential to be really good at what they do. The touches are going to be limited. He's not going to have a lot of chances. And there's been moments where he's been that one cut, hit the hole, run hard guy that looks really, really good. That shows that, hey, I think at one point we were saying, this guy's going to be our number 2 back next year. McKissick is gone. Right now, I think McKissick is way too valuable on our team to not have. But Patterson has shown that he deserves to play in this league, and he's got a spot out. He can contribute to a team. So I'll go C plus. He's got some learning to do, but he's playing well.
What'd you think?
I'm gonna say B-, guys. Given the opportunity that he has, he makes the most of it. And honestly, that's what you want from people. You know what I'm saying? Once they get on the field, once they have the opportune time to actually do something, you want them to do something with that ball. And honestly, he does. And like you said it, Will, he just he hits that hole so hard sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And like to me, I see this man being on our team for a while. And honestly, you can't judge a person because they don't have the stats and everything like that. You should be judging them on what they have done when they give an opportunity. And he's done a lot. To me, I like it. I like what he's doing. I like what he has done. And he, honestly, given more chances, he might be a game changer come a year or 2. So B-, guys.
I like it. Now, for the very last person, we have to shout out our dear buddy and once member of the show, Mr. Moral Support, Anton Benton. Got to bring up his guy. This guy was repping Samus Reyes all off season. Hey, this guy, he's got a little bit of action, not much. Ab, what do you think?
So one thing I saw when I rewatched the game, but I didn't see when I was at the game, was how excited Reyes was about jumping into this game, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's what you should be, like, ready. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like one thing a lot of people don't know, Coach Myers, he told all his running backs, I shouldn't have to look for you. You should already be ready.
Yes.
You should be already ready to jump in the game when I need you.
Look, hold up, Ab, I gotta say, he would say you can almost annoy me because when I turn, you need to be right there.
Right. Like, he literally, and all you did, and I'm trying to tell you, if people paid attention to this, they literally saw a group of people following the head coach up and down the field.
Yeah.
Like, just like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what he did. And Reyes was that on Sunday, bro. He was exactly that. He literally was ready when he saw that was it Jones? I forget, Seals Jones, my bad.
Yeah.
Seal, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
when he got hurt, Reyes was ready to jump up on there and start playing, bro. He was like, my turn. But then it was like, okay, we need special teams. But he was on the special teams.
Right.
But the whole point of what I'm saying is this dude was ready to jump on the field and start playing. And honestly, I'm excited for that. Like, that's this type of stuff I really want to see. So to me, I don't know. I don't know if he has stats. I don't recall him make a catch or anything like that. But this dude, honestly, incomplete. But I'm anticipating him doing more for this team. I am excited for it's a excited incomplete. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to see what this guy has. Like, put him in, coach.
Yeah, definitely. Will, what you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, a successful 2021 season for Sammy Reyes is an incomplete. Because we really I don't want him on the field right now. Dude just learned how to play football. So the idea, he wouldn't have made the team if we didn't know that he would get snatched up. So, I mean, my gosh, why did they not Joe Gibbs this guy? He's hurt. His ankle's hurting him. We need to put him on IR for the whole year so that he can have him on his team. Joe Gibbs does it with all his quarterbacks. That's what we needed to do this guy. And now that he's got a chance to play, we'll see. I mean, I'm nervous. You know, what blocking assignments is he gonna miss? So that part is nervous. Like, I hope they use him. Like, okay, you're gonna run this route right here, and that's what you're gonna do. But incomplete should be a good grade for him. That's okay. He is who he is. He's got to learn.
Yeah, I don't think we can go any farther than that. I just want to shout him out. I'm glad he's still hyped up, pumped up. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that when Ab mentioned, being around the coach, another thing is you want to stay in that huddle because especially later in the season, it's kind of hard when it's getting chilly over there. And you got to, that's why everybody was like, why you always run around and jump, man? I stayed warm. And I was always springing, bounce. Okay, we're good. But I love that, man. Because, Reyes, we talked about him in the offseason. We all did not know what to expect from him. He made, he made a team. He's with us. He just whatever way he can get on the field, man. I just am expecting so much. I'm hoping. I hate that it has to come about because of all these injuries and all the things like that. But I'm hoping that he does good things. But I don't. Again, what do we have to judge him on? So I'm just hoping for good things. Incomplete is, I think, only place we can go with this. Only place we go.
Nate's asking why aren't we giving him any love?
We answered all your stuff. We would talk about Sammy Reyes because of you, Nate.
Yeah.
No, he's saying why any love? Like, why aren't we talking positive?
No, he wrote that at 9:40, so I think he wanted us to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I brought up the undrafted. So shout out to Nate for helping us come up with our topics.
Yes, sir. Yo, All right, man. And hey, we talked about draft grades. Okay, now we also made a couple moves, nothing majorly flashy. But one guy was somewhat flashy, and he has not panned out. But our free agency and offseason grades. Look, we've brought in a number of guys, a bunch of guys that we kind of hyped up, a bunch of guys that I kind of hyped up that haven't seen the field this year. A bunch of guys that only one of us thought was even going to make the team, But hey, there we go. We now know halfway through the season kind of how some of these things have panned out. And Will, I'm gonna come to you first. The first person that we got to talk about, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I don't mean it to be mean, but for the value of signing and play, it's an F because he hasn't. Our starting quarterback's been in and out the whole season. He made it through what? A quarter and a half, maybe.
I think so.
If that, something like that. He didn't even make it through a first game. I don't say it to be mean. I feel bad for that he never got the opportunity, but just judging as is, it's a failed signing.
Yep.
F him. Like, what are you talking about? F this dude. What are you like? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
So I don't understand why. Like, so this guy, so it's rumored that this guy got hurt prior to the game. So, like, he hurt his hip at, like, a water park or something like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone, like, we can't judge this guy off of that. No, yes, we can, man. Like, Dwayne Haskins gets judged so much harder off of things, and I'm not defending Dwayne Haskins at all, but if a guy gets hurt prior to his first game on a new team, I think we all can agree that even when Ryan Fitzpatrick was in, it didn't look like he was there. It didn't look like he was doing anything at all. So almost like he did have an injury prior to that game. So to me, I'm not even sitting here going to even make excuses for this dude. F this dude. I'm mad about players coming in, taking our money and not doing shit. Like, I'm already upset about that. So F this guy. Honestly, especially if he got hurt before this game, bro. I'm trying to tell you, F this dude all the way. So, yeah, I'm already through F, and F meaning other words too. F this dude.
There you go. And ladies and gentlemen, give me a second while I wipe the egg off of my face, because when these two gentlemen told me what in the world are we doing getting Ryan Fitzpatrick, I told them he was the answer. He was the future. I was wrong. Fitz didn't even get in there, but not even a full half, and he got hurt. And hey, absolutely right. If you sat there and you got hurt prior to that and you were doing something off and then didn't even report it and all that stuff, I got nothing. But look, we have nothing to judge you on the field. We can judge you from your preseason stuff. We can judge you by all that stuff you were talking. Look, F. We can go with this, F. And here's another F, Curtis Samuel. Because what in the F? Just a complete F. What do you think, man?
I am right there with you, FF and FF. And, like, honestly, this guy is literally another Richardson. Was it Paul Richardson? This guy's just another Paul Richardson, man. Coming in, getting our hopes up, has a good season the year prior, comes in here, free agent deal, and takes up our money for another 2-3 years. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Without doing much in anything to earn that money for us. Like, I do not appreciate at all how these players get, like, they play hard the season prior on their contract year, and then they're softer than baby shit when it comes to proving that contract right. I just don't understand it, man. Now, I mean, yeah, you get paid that one time, but are you not thinking about the rest of your career, your legacy, You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't like it at all. It's not a good look. It really isn't. Paul Richardson, did he even get a chance? Did he even play anywhere else after us?
I don't think so. No.
That's what I'm saying. It's like these guys do this I'm injured shit. Like, honestly, it's football. We're all injured.
Right.
You stay injured, but you play through it. Like, you get what I'm saying? You find a way to play through it. And I'm not saying, and I'm generalizing it, and I'm sorry about that, but we have a running back over here that is playing through shin splints, a fractured shin, and you're talking like literally you can't even dress up for games. I'm done with it. F this dude too.
Well, what you think?
So it obviously has to be an F, but I'm gonna go. This is an organizational failure, okay? Because I don't know if we knew that he was injured when we signed him, but their reluctancy to just take care of this stupid thing is a failure to Curtis Samuel. It's a failure to our team in general. It's a failure to the entire offense. Ron gets so defensive when reporters ask him about him because they keep saying, well, where's Curtis Samuel? Is he coming back this week? He gets so angry. And people at one point were like, do you think he's going to need surgery? And he's like, guys, stop it. Move on to another topic. And it's like, no, you signed this guy for $13 million a year. He's not playing. He's got this injury. You put him on IR, then you took him off. Now he's still hurt. He's not practicing ever. He's not on team drills. He does individual drills every single week. You don't have an athletic trainer because he's getting in trouble with the feds. You don't have the assistant athletic trainer because he's in trouble with the feds. You're bringing Bubba Tyre in, who was back in Joe Gibbs' days in the 80s and 90s, to handle some of this right now. Like, this is a complete organizational failure on this. And the fact that they won't just swallow their pride and say, shut him down, start again next year, makes no sense to me. If you really, I understood it earlier in the season when you said, we don't want to have surgery because he's working his way back. He's worked his way back against Atlanta. He tweaked it. He got hurt. He's been nowhere since, including the bye week. He had 2 weeks to recover in the bye week. It ain't happening. This is a lost season for him. Call it what it is so this dude can get healthy and have a full off season to recover.
Right. Absolutely. All right, and to move on, and actually, you know what? Look, ladies and gentlemen, there's a big list of free agent signings, but I realized the time. So I do want to just point out a couple people really quickly. One of them being William Jackson III. Will, what do you think about that?
As disappointed as you are in De'Ami Brown, I am in William Jackson III. I really thought this was going to be a great signing. I thought he was going to make plays here. I thought we were going to put him in the position that maybe he since it didn't in Cincinnati, and it ain't happening. And even on Sunday, he made that interception. Awesome. Thank you. You're right in the right place, run time. I still remember then, the next drive or two after that, Tom Brady picked him, and got a big play over him, and it's the same things with him. I don't know. I don't know if they can come together on the coaching staff and figure out what to do with these guys. But if he is not a fit, I don't know that part of it. All I know is this signing ain't working. I'm going to give it another F.
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm going to give him an incomplete. Only because I think they don't he's obviously talented. Obviously. I just don't think they put him in the right situations, man. I really don't. And I'm tired of I'm tired of this team just making players deeming them bad because they can't put them in the right situation to excel. And it's not right. It doesn't look good. Because eventually, after you do it to several players, people are going to start to look and be like, you said this about the last 5 players. Maybe it's the coaching. But then you already deemed these other players bad players, and now you potentially ruin their career. I don't like that. I really don't like that. So to me, I think it's an incomplete. I really think they do not know how to use him correctly. And I'm gonna just say that I'll say that. They just don't know how to use him correctly. And I think Jack Del Rio, he's old school. Maybe he just doesn't know how to deal with a certain type of cornerback. And I think, and to me, I just don't. I'm not feeling the way that they. I'm not feeling the way that they coached this team, coordinated this team in the first half of the year. So I'll say incomplete.
Okay, nice. Okay, I got D. I mean, I think, he's been there, he's been on the field, but I think it goes to kind of what you was talking about with the scheme, with the coaching. It doesn't matter how good of a player is. If you don't put him in the right position to be successful, then, what are you doing? So I think it's going to come down to more of that. And even Will, man, I might even bite back against that the one interception he did make, because if you go back to that video and you listen to the announcers, they kept saying Tom Brady telegraphed his throw. Tom Brady telegraphed it. And it's kind of like, oh, I want to give it to you, William Jackson, but I'm trying to throw it to you. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you didn't drop the ball. So, I guess our expectations were definitely high when we got him with the coaches we had. But it's like you said, man, Ab, the scheme's got to be right. You got to figure out what works best with who you have and put them in the positions to be successful. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Now, Ab, I'm going to come back to you on somebody that was a favorite player of yours this offseason, Mr. Adam Humphries. What do you think?
Yeah, I hope this is the last one, because Adam Humphries is straight garbage. So honestly, if Milne's in there and playing on the field, then Adam Humphries isn't showing what he should be showing. Honestly, I think he literally got on the team because of being Ryan Fitzpatrick's favorite wide receiver. And then, honestly, when Ryan Fitzpatrick got hurt, then they should have cut him too.
There you go.
It should have been too easy to do that. But again, honestly, he's an F for me. Always been the F from day one to me. Honestly, I don't bro. I'm not feeling this at all.
It's an F. Yeah. Hey, Will, what do you think, man?
Let's be honest. Adam Humphries ain't making us a better team. Okay? I can't give him the same grade as someone who can't even get on the field. So I have to give him a letter grade up because of that. So I will give him a D. But I think I lost my notes. I accidentally deleted them when making this week's notes. I think he might have 20 catches on the year. And that's our second leading receiver. That's a problem. Okay, so that is not good offense right there. And I expected him to be a third down and red zone, end zone type of player over the middle, making quick plays from the slot. He hasn't been that. He hasn't had an impact out there. Can he make catches? Can he make reliable catches? And he's made a big catch in several of our wins. He's made a big catch. So I have to give him something there. But I expected more out of him on the team, and he's not doing that. So I'll only give him a D.
Yeah, definitely expect
But I think,
more
the big thing about this overall is compared to last year, our offseason in free agency, it was a complete bust. That's a big freaking problem, because guess what we did this past offseason? We revamped our front office and who made these decisions. We cut and got rid of a guy who was a part of this, and he's now in Atlanta. And we brought all in these general managers, three guys have been general managers that are helping Ron pick players, and we just gave all of them a failing grade. Our top 4 offseason additions, we gave a failing grade, and some of our draft picks, our early draft picks that are supposed to be impact players, we're not giving favorable grades. That's a major, major problem.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, and real quick, I just want to get a letter grade. He wouldn't even matter, but he has been playing, especially his last 2 weeks. I'll start. Deandre Carter, I'm going to give him a B because before the season, we didn't even know who he was, and we didn't even have him on the team. And for him to have back-to-back weeks with touchdowns, this man, they said 6 years ago, was a substitute school teacher. You know what I mean? And now he's on the field doing great for us. So real quick, Ab, what do you think? What's your grade for him real quick?
Honestly, he's a big shock. Honestly, it's one like what we do is we get these free agent guys that are undrafted and we see what they're about. Honestly, I like that's a plus on our side, but yeah, it's like he's a pleasant surprise. Considering the last 2 weeks, I could say a B. Like honestly, that just means that they're learning. They're not sitting there trying to force the ball to Humphries or have Humphries out there, dozzy dot. They're actually learning and trying to make adjustments. That's why you're seeing so much of Deandre Carter. So honestly, I approve of this. So yeah, definitely a B.
Will, what you think?
Yeah, what a pleasant surprise. I kind of thought from a kick returner standpoint that they would give him a chance. We'd kind of see what he does, minus that touchdown return. But, getting the ball past the 25, doing better than just fair catching it or letting the ball bounce into the end zone. And he does that. So to that, I would give him a B. The fact that what he's provided in our passing game, which as little passing game as we have, I think for what he's been, for his season so far, he's been an absolute A for us. What a great surprise.
Definitely. Absolutely.
He's averaging 16.4 yards a catch.
Oh, I'll take that.
I'll take that all day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that over the shoulder.
Leading.
Yeah.
Leading the team. That's even over Terry.
Ooh, well, that's nice. I like that. That over the shoulder catch he made for that touchdown was sweet. It was
Very
beautiful.
Nice. I would bet that's leading Terry because I would imagine you could see it at the game, but did they pretty much have a safety play over the top of Terry?
So I'd say it's over Terry because of a pure numbers thing. You get what I'm saying? Like Terry obviously has more catches, and there's a lot of them are those 5-yard catches. That's a lot of Terry's yardage right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't call it on having the safety over Terry. I can't call it so much, but I can tell you that Terry has a lot more receptions than Carter does, and that's why the numbers are slighted that way.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm gonna kick it right there on the those because we are coming close to the 2-hour mark. For those of you that are still with us, I think Nate hopped off because he's got to go on his show. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Nate Talk Podcast tonight, 10:45, I believe. He's talking, football game, basketball, college, everything.
Guys have some late nights. I don't know how you guys do this.
Oh man, I can't. Hey, I'm struggling. I am struggling.
I said I need to start texting Nate when I'm up at 5:15. Hey, buddy, what are you doing right now?
Right. Are you live? Are you live right now?
Yeah, he will be starting. Hey, my kid's up, so am I. He will be starting podcast at 10:45.
Real quick, we do want to touch on the Week 11 preview. The Carolina Panthers we are going to Carolina to play the Panthers. We know they just signed Cam. From all intents and purposes, we've heard he was practicing with the first team, and that's what we're looking like we're going to see. I'm going to go ahead and go right into it. Just what do you guys think? Ab, I'll come to you first. What do you think? What do you think we're going to do? What's predictions? Just where are you going with that?
I think this is a nitty-gritty game, bro. I honestly think that's why they're bringing Cam in, and I I really think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a nitty-gritty game, and Carolina is going to try to debo us on defense. And but no, I think it'll be a close game overall, though. Close game. So 24-20. Carolina.
Okay. Will, what you thinking?
Yeah, this is a hard game to predict because Cam is going to start. We don't know what that's going to mean, out there. Carolina has the ability, has on paper the ability to absolutely beat us and beat us like they did last year, where they beat us pretty good when they came to DC. I think McCaffrey is the key to their offense. He's their lead. They want to go with him in the passing game and in the running game. And so I'm excited to see Landon Collins go up against him. They finally, for the first time this week, said exactly what Landon's role is, and they call him the big nickel, the Buffalo nickel. And his job is going to be to spy McCaffrey, and that's going to be a good test for him. It's going to be a good, hey, is this an impact role that he can really do, and shut down one of the league's best players? They've got a dynamic receiver in DJ Moore, so he very well might carve us up. And then at their defense, just kind of looking at some of the numbers that make me nervous, they basically use Hassan Reddick and just say every single down, go get the quarterback. It'd be really nice if maybe we did that with Chase and Montez. He's got 9.5 sacks.
Wow.
Right behind him is Brian Burns with 6 sacks. So they can put pressure on the quarterback.
Oh, wow.
Offensive line's going to be in some trouble. Heinicke's going to be, he might be running for his life here. And behind that, they make some plays on defense. They have 8 picks already. And Stephon Gilmore, who's been there, 3-4 games? He already has 2 of them. So obviously he's been an immediate impact player. So I think it's going to be a challenge. Ab is right saying this is going to be a slugfest. I'm going to go because this is Ron's homecoming.
Yep.
There's going to be a little bit more motivation there. I'm going to say we're going to get it somehow. We're going to go Joey Sly back to Carolina. 1916 Washington wins.
Let's go. I love it. Look, I got to piggyback on both those things you said. There's storylines: Ron versus Cam, old Panthers versus new Panthers. You know what I mean? There's always different storylines, but I think one of the big ones that we got to focus on, because I think it's going to be close. I say 23-17 Washington. And I think one of the things we got to focus on was, everybody looks at the playoff game as Heinicke's real coming out party. But for those of us who watch the games, that the Panthers game, when he came in, he looked good. You know what I mean? And that kind of started somewhat under the radar, the legend of Heinicke. I think this is going to be one of those games that, in these type of games that mean something to him, if the offense, the coaching staff can run plays that benefit him by getting him out of the pocket. Don't let him just sit there because we know they're coming after him. I definitely think this could be one of those games that Heinicke definitely comes back in late, gets the W, gets it done. So, yeah, I'm definitely saying 23-17. Let's hope we get the W, but we shall see. We shall definitely see. And ladies and gentlemen, really quickly, I tried to avoid this, but apparently some people want to talk about my demise. If you saw last time, you saw how Mr. Abs talked about my demise when I got beat by him. Well, I played Will this week, and I don't think things were much different. So we will go to the fantasy football week 10 recap and the week 11 matchups really quickly. Let me share the screen. Alrighty. All right. So we're going to go ahead and look into it. As you can see, Palmetto Skins leads our division at 7-3. DMV Superman Ablo at 6-4. Myself at 4-6 with a 6% chance at making the playoffs. And Team Crespo is 3-7. On the other side, Show Me Your TDs is 7-3. Nathan Snell at Baltimore Elite is 6-4. My partner from Let's Talk Football, Janae Stroud, and the Dallas comeback is 4-6. And the Knights Rosario, rounding out the bottom, is 3-7 with a 1% chance of making it to the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. But let's just go into it. Let's go into it. Oh wow, we got some games already going. Oh, that's right. Tonight.
At least Thursday. We're on a different hole.
Oh, and as if they knew, the top matchup for this past week, I was on the, oh my goodness gracious.
No, beat the brakes off your ass.
So I got to tell you about this because it's kind of funny. So all of a sudden I didn't realize, I knew I needed to do some tinkering and I forgot to at the end of the week. Usually right after the show, I do some things, or sometimes as we go into fantasy, I've been adding and drop playing players as we're doing it. Well, all of a sudden the 1 o'clock games happen and I got Joe Burrow starting and he's on a bye week. And they keep talking about Kyler Murray, not sure. And then all of a sudden it's like Kyler Murray's inactive. And I'm like, I got no quarterback. So I go look and I'm like, all right, so who's playing Sunday night? Who's playing Monday? And I was like, all of a sudden I was like, oh, well, the 49ers are playing. Nobody is Jimmy Garoppolo. I guess I'll go pick him up. And then I had Deebo Samuel got me 50 points on Monday night.
God, Deebo. Wow.
Let me tell you something. And Deebo did exactly what he did here in South Carolina. Give him. I think he's leading the league now in yards after catch.
Yep.
Give him the ball and then let him just run with it and stiff arm people and break tackles. Dude is a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo, 18 points, man. I was like, okay, I'll take that. I was watching it. I was watching the scores, and I'm like, 11 of 13 in the first half. What's going on with Garoppolo?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns? Let's go. I got so lucky.
Now
were absolute crap. I mean, absolute junk.
You got Christian McCaffrey, your flex, giving you 26. Look, I had this similar incident where I was like, oh, snaps. Chase Claypool, he's questionable. He's questionable. And then by the time I looked, since we went out, I wasn't able to take him out. He gave me a 0 spot. Tua, I forgot to take him out, but it didn't really matter because Aaron Rodgers didn't do anything on the back end.
Okay. Yeah.
The Eagles' defense did great, but Dallas' defense dominated, And then I guess you could say Eckler for Freiermuth or Eckler for Michael Carter. But look, I mean, I would have had to have really worked some things out to win it. It was ugly early, and it's all good, though. It's all good because the comeback starts now. I hope you know that.
Halfway through the season?
Look, hey.
Washington plays. This is how it happens.
Let's go. They're going to be talking about a great comeback. Ab, who did you play this week?
Delilah, she whipped up on me. I'm on a 2-game losing streak.
Oh, see that? See, he's opening up the door. That's all I need. Just give me a little sliver. I'm busting down that door.
Delilah, yeah, she put it on me, man. And I blame the game. I blame being at the game mostly. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's like dead zones at the stadium. Like your shit don't work there.
Yeah,
it really doesn't.
Golly.
But Matt Stafford,
yeah.
Matt Stafford just shit the bed. Like all I needed was I was projected to win, even with Matt Stafford going into Monday night, and he just like he playing like he hurt or something, or he got that Odell curse. Like I don't know what the hell is going on.
I can't tell you. I cannot tell you, but I do appreciate the loss. Yeah. I do appreciate the loss.
Matt Stafford had a rough day.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! The thing is, I mean, God, shout out to Delilah. She was 2-8 or 2-7 before this. Definitely got the W, and helped my hopes to keep going. Let's see really quickly. The producer is telling me that we're getting close to that time.
Tonight.
So Herndon, I'm playing Show Me Your TDs, who's number one in the division. Comeback trail is on. Delilah's playing Baltimore Elite, Nathan Snell. Palmetto's
-6. Jeez.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. What he's got? Was he the
Young Ho
already?
No, it's Young Ho Koo. Young Ho Koo is -6.
Oh.
What do you
He's
get a miss?
missing field goals.
Oh wow. Oh snap! I think I started him too.
That's awesome.
That's terrible. All right, and last but not least, Janae Strother plays DMV Superman. Hey, it's gonna be a fun week, ladies and gentlemen.
Always is.
Yes, it is.
It's gonna be a fun week. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta get off so I can go prepare my bed on the couch. Ladies and gentlemen, I so appreciate you guys watching us. We have gone a little bit long, but there's so much stuff to get out there. We are trying to deep dive and give you the best content out there that we have. So I gotta say once again, I so appreciate my guys. This guy over here, the man that they say no shirt required, the shirtless wonder, Mr. Ab Low in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, if you are the good luck charm, Ab, Will and I will get together and buy you tickets to every game. All right. If you're there, see what happens when I go to games. We don't win. hey, my guy in the stickiest place in America, Mr. Insurance Salesman, the fourth-string backup quarterback for Washington, Will Kramer. Let's go. Yo, we so appreciate you guys. We will be with you next week. Tune in. Go Washington. We love you. Peace. God bless, ladies and gentlemen.
Be easy, y'all.